Welcome to Sweet Tea and Thread. I'm Shai.
And I'm Bethany, and we are part of the Thread team.
Thread is a shop located in Florence, Alabama, and we carry a curated selection of yarns for knitting and crochet, all the supplies, needles, tools. We also carry quilt weight cottons for garment sewing and for quilting. We're an AccuQuilt dealer. We also have a lovely selection of heirloom fabrics and knit fabrics and a few other garment sewing fabrics. You want to add anything to that? So today we're going to talk about crochet because, you know, Christy Glass has pronounced
May is crochet in May.
Crochet in May. And so we thought we would start out with some crochet projects that we have in the shop. This first one is, we did a little knit along, crochet along, and our crochet along was this triangle scarf, my first triangle scarf by, who's it by?
Lindsey Dale.
Yeah, Lindsey Dale of Winding Road Crochet. And I crocheted this one out of Medina from Berroco. And I did it in the, it's 4733 color number. And we have all of those colors. But I was real pleased with the way this turned out. It feels really good. It's a cotton yarn, right? 100%?
It is 37%
Oh,
cotton, 36% acrylic, and 27% viscose.
Yes. But it's going to be a lovely little scarf to wear. And the tassels. All about the tassels. There we go. All nice in a row. And so that was a lot of fun to crochet. And then next we have this hat. And I love this. It's a half double crochet. It is the KMT Creations Simple and Sleek Slouch Hat, which you can find on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. But it looks like a knitted hat. So, you know, that's always kind of clever.
It looks like a knitted, like a ribbed hat.
Yeah, like a rib knit hat. And it's done in vintage, also a Berroco yarn. And it would be real cute in some of these other colors.
So I think this was the original color, this blue over here.
It sure is. And then I was real industrious there for a little while and crocheted up this afghan, and it feels so scrumptious. It's crocheted in Mirasol's Pima Kuri yarn, and this is a riff on where's that shawl? There it is at the top. Yeah, Judy Heiss's Ripple Baby Blanket is the pattern I used to give me my stitch count for the pattern, but I chained 150 stitches and started, and then I used 2 skeins of each color to do this up, so it makes a perfect afghan size blanket.
It has a good weight to it,
Yeah,
too.
doesn't it? And it's, you know, it's just double crochet. And I love the colors that I chose.
And we have a couple of other color options. Let me get this one over here.
Yeah, there's a lovely selection of colors in this yarn. So, you know, whatever your favorite color is, add some neutrals to that and it'll be a good...
There's a couple of ideas that you can add in.
There you go. That would make another fun one. And then you want to talk about this blanket?
Yes, so we got, I don't crochet a lot, but my mom does. So we got her to make this crocheted blanket. It's kind of like a baby blanket size. It is a square. This is the Cedar River blanket.
Yep, Cedar River.
And who's the designer for this one?
Um,
Cat Goldin.
yeah.
So originally this called for a DK weight yarn. We ended up choosing Berroco Comfort in their worsted weight, and I think she just went up a hook size, but
Yeah.
it's a really good texture and fabric, I think.
Yeah. And that Berroco Comfort, it's a acrylic nylon blend of yarn, but I think it feels very cottony.
It does.
So-
It's very soft. And this pattern is in UK terms as far as crochet terms go. So if you are American, you kind of have to know the difference and
Yeah. And
be
it's
aware of that when you're making this.
Yeah. And it's that corner to corner
Method.
motif,
yes.
method, and so it's individual blocks that are then crocheted together. So, but she did a lovely job on this. It looks really good.
And we did pick out a couple of other color options. Get these all in.
Yeah,
That would be a really fun color.
those look really
It
good.
would be really bright and cheerful. And it could be for a boy or a girl. Like, that's the perfect.
Yeah, that would be very gender neutral. And Bethany did a post on our Facebook page and did several color groups.
Several color groups.
Yeah,
So
that
if
this could
if
be
you
made
need an
in.
idea for color options, we have a post on that. And then we also got her to crochet a hat for us, and this is the Faux Knit Fair Isle Toque by Ashleigh.
Kiser, I
Kiser.
think.
Okay.
I
So
thought this was a very clever pattern.
it looks like it's knitted, but it's actually crochet. And then we did a huge pom-pom. We had a lot of extra yarn, so we just combined the two colors and did a huge pom-pom. And so when you crochet, especially if you're doing color work and crochet, it can be a little tight. You may want to go up a hook size if you are already a tight crocheter, or you might want to consider making this as is and just make it for a smaller, like a child or something like that. But it is really just a cute, cute hat. And we did it
Yeah.
out of Plymouth's Davila. So these were the two original colors. You do want a high contrast.
Yeah.
But they have lots of other colors. They have more earthy neutral tones if that's your jam.
Yeah, and that gray, in either one of those with a darker color, that would look great together.
So a couple of different options, but a great crochet hat, especially if you want a crochet project that has more of a knitted look.
And who doesn't love a huge pom-pom? All right. I think that covers us for all the crochet things,
Yes.
right?
I think that's everything that's crochet.
All right. And then we'll move on to knitting. And I was extremely, extremely excited. I got to test knit a sweater for Andrea Mowry. And let me grab that real quick. So I got to do her daily sweater. And this is the one that I knitted up. And I used Plymouth's Viento, a blue, and it's a gray, but the gray has a brown tone.
And I didn't
to
pull that
it.
color.
Yeah.
I pulled the blue, but
I think I used about all that color in this.
I pulled a
So,
dark gray, which
yeah.
would work as well.
Oh yeah, any of these colors would work. This sweater is going to be like wearing your favorite blanket around. It is just so
It's
cuddly,
soft.
soft. Yeah.
The yarn is 70% baby alpaca and 30% bamboo, so it has a really just luxurious feel to it.
Mm-hmm. So, and there were, several other test knitters, and somebody did a cotton one. So I came in and said, I was thinking we might want to do one of these in cotton. And somebody said,
I volunteer.
let me.
Like, I don't have enough knitting projects on hand already, but I was like, oh, let me do one. So we're doing the other one out of this forget-me-not cotton, which is really pretty. These are the colors that I'm using. I'm actually going to do 3 colors. So these 2 are going to be the main. The green and the kind of gray are the main colors. And then the pink is going to be a single stripe kind of in the middle of the sweater. So I
think it's going to look great.
I said, oh, I'll finish a couple of projects and then I'll cast it on.
As we all do.
I didn't finish a couple projects and I cast it on. This is how far I've gotten so far. Sorry for all of the strings. But, and I am in the middle of the row, but you can see I have the ribbing and I have almost all of the first stripe done on it. So
I think those colors are going to look great.
I think they look really good.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to add the pink because I have another stripe of green and then I add the pink.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's what I decided.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah, it's the fabric is looking really, really nice.
Yeah, and I actually had to go down a couple of needle sizes. So when I swatched for this, I started out with the size 10 that they recommend in the pattern, and then I realized that I wasn't getting gauge, and so I took that swatch out and I tried again with a size 9. Didn't get gauge again, and so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a really loose knitter apparently. So I went down to an 8, and that was perfect to get gauge for the body of the sweater. And then I think you go down 2 needle sizes for the ribbing. So I ended up with a 6 for the ribbing and an 8 for the body of the sweater.
And it looks good. Yeah, that's a size 10 needle, and I had to go up to a 10 and a half.
Yeah.
For me to, and then I just got stitch gauge. I didn't get row gauge, so I ended up, like, for my size, it was supposed to be 20 rows for each stripe. I only have 17 rows on mine, and mine still made a length I like sweater. I didn't have to make any adjustments to the length of it. So
yeah, and I think so far I'm getting not only stitch gauge but row gauge. So I think mine are.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think it's
because it's kind of, you're thinking, what do I do when you get stitch gauge but you don't get row gauge, and then you've got to be mindful of making those adjustments.
Well, and she's really good in the pattern. She tells you, you know, you want your stripes to be this many inches long, and she also gives you the row count for it. So if you don't get, you know, gauge for the rows necessarily, but you get to like 3 inches before you hit however many rows, then you can go by the inches rather than the rows, or you can add rows to do.
Right, exactly.
You know, if you want like a tighter weave, I guess that would be. Yeah.
Exactly.
Down a couple of
and that's why I thought, oh, well, I've gotten, you know, in 17 rows, I was getting that 3.25 inches is what my size called for. And so, yeah, and I was pleased with the width of the stripes. And I wouldn't have wanted them any skinnier, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. And so, what else have you got?
I have one more knitting project, and it's kind of sad. It looks really sad. I'll show you this.
Yeah.
So this is an Appalachian baby. It will, yep, there we go. The tally-ho baby pullover. I'm doing the pink version of it. We got the kits in, and we decided that we needed the sample. And so there are a lot of strings on this right now. The construction of it, you knit the front, the back, you attach at the shoulder seams, and you knit your sleeves. And I'm at the sleeve part, so I have the first sleeve done. The first sleeve is a solid pink. This is the front of it. It will be stitched up the center, and then I'm working on the second sleeve, which is striped with this indigo and this pink color. So I've gotten that far on it.
Yeah. It's going to be really cute. It's a really cute sweater. So, and Appalachian Baby, their yarn is 100% organic cotton, and it feels really good, and especially after you get it all washed up and everything, it just has a delightful hand.
I really like the design of this sweater so far. I haven't knit very many, well, really haven't knit any sweaters to completion, but I haven't especially knit any baby sweaters, but it's actually really easy. Like, if you want a quick project, just knit a baby sweater. Because
Exactly.
it goes fast and you feel accomplished. You're like, oh yes, I knit a sweater.
Exactly. And surely there's somebody out there that you need a baby gift for. And so.
And with it being cotton too, you know, people aren't going to be like, oh, I don't want to put my baby in wool. You know, because some people are concerned about wool allergies, or, you know, some people don't want to put their baby in an acrylic because they want to use natural fibers. So the cotton is a great option.
Yeah. And while we're talking about works in progress, one of my favorite things, just, you know, like watching goldfish in a bowl or, you know, something like that, palette cleanser kind of thing. I love to knit worsted weight socks. And these are just toe up with a short row heel. And I figured out for my children, you know, how long the foot needs to be and how long they like the cuff. For my fellas, I do a short cuff, about an inch and a half long. But this is knit out of Adrafil's knit call from Plymouth yarn. And it's, like I said, a worsted weight, but I'm just loving this colorway. And so that's what I've had a couple of big projects that I've done, and I just needed something that was something I didn't really have to think about. And so started these, and I thought, yeah, let me finish this. And I've got a couple more projects on we just made a list of our projects that we've got to get done for the store.
My list is long.
Bethany has the longest list.
I think I have about 6 projects.
Because when I say, you know, we only
and that's
do
just for the store. That's
Yeah.
not even my knitting projects at home.
Because we say, well, we need a sample with this yarn, and Bethany's right on there looking through
like,
Ravelry. And
here's the pattern. Here's the
pattern.
colors.
Let's do this. I want to do it. So, which is great. I love that.
I need to stop saying I want to do it, though. I have too many projects.
That's why we sat down and made a list today. So, all right. And then also, like we said, thread carries fabric. We're not just a yarn store.
So occasionally we might have some sewing.
Exactly. So our quick sew today, because we had gotten in, we carried CocoKnits, just about all of her paraphernalia for knitting, and we had gotten the handles in, and we're in the process of knitting some bags for the handles. And I knew some people had made the cloth bags, and I was looking everywhere for the pattern. It didn't dawn on me that she had put the pattern in with the handles. Discovered that yesterday, so I came in just a little while ago and whipped this up out of some Brussels washer. It's a linen rayon blend, and I mean, this didn't take 30 minutes to put together.
It's super easy.
Yeah, attach the handles, and I used these these number 13 needles from Tulip. It's a straight tapestry needle. It was the perfect size to attach the handles. So I'm feeling rather accomplished with a finished project in 30 minutes. So these are going to be great. It's going to be a great big. And I made she gives you 3 sizes to make, and I made the larger bag.
And it's perfect for a sweater.
It is, isn't it?
I already said that I would gladly claim this bag.
All right, anything else you think we need to cover or haven't covered?
We've covered all of our finished objects, our works in progress,
right?
A little bit of sewing. I don't have any sewing.
Right. Well, we appreciate you joining us for Sweet Tea and Fiber. Our sweet tea today comes from McDonald's. It's across the street. But we thank you for joining us and hope you'll join us again next time. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.